I will shout out a track too, running that signal 50 and in second place right now. Maybe he's got a little bit of that cheese we were talking about yesterday. Maybe something working out for him when they're rocking that sniper. If you can enter, man, that would be fantastic. But oh my goodness, Tiff.
Yeah, the plane line. This plane line is atrocious. We are flying. All right, now one ticket here to Mazra City. As we jump on board, you look down south, you will see the airport, and just ahead will be the bay. But we're coming on with 10x. They're heading on over one to contest early.
Well, we haven't not seen Raise and IQ fighting early, so at least that's consistent. This is going to change up everything, folks. When you start thinking about a plane line like this that rotates through, not even rotates, just straight down the south edge of the map, it totally changes the game, Tiff, because a lot of these teams have favorite drop spots. They might have 1 to 2 to 3. Some of them might have 4. And you have to think about these edge cases, but you don't plan for them necessarily. This isn't like, hey, what if this plane line happens? What do we do? So now people are scrambling. Huskerrs on Rational Scummin in a little bit of trouble trying to answer back with the pistol and able to do that. But there's even a third team here as Asm comes in, I think wipes everybody.
Oh my gosh, goodbye, Co. Z-Smith also down and out. Huskerrs and Irrational's team looking a little sus and going straight to the gulag. And this is challenging, right? Because you think about all the teams that are going to be landing Fortress. They're going Bay, Cemetery, Sawad Village. No Tarak Village, no Oasis. Rohan Oil's going to be a massive stretch.
Right.
So, oh, Lord. May the odds be ever in your favor. May the gunny be on point.
Well, at least Traverse's team won out on Fortress here. I would love to take a look at the map and see where we're at with the overall circle. This is gonna be an interesting one. Whoa. Okay, so
I'm not laughing, I swear. Oh my gosh, look at that. Gosh, this is atrocious. Team Zlaner though, airport once again. This is good for them.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. Like, obviously the line was weird. The circle is weird. Half the circle's not even in the zone. But a lot of teams stretched. I mean, look how far some of these teams
That's
are.
impressive.
Team 42 is in Village. What are we doing up there? I guess it's a free loot spot. You can get fully locked and loaded up, but you're not going to find an elimination for like 10 minutes.
Nah, it's all right. Bonk, yeet, future is game. They just want to vibe. Let them be. They're going to go up north, get their loadie, and then they'll show up 20 minutes into the game.
Hey, you know what? Whatever works. I won't question it until it doesn't work later. Then I'll reference it back and call you out. So we'll keep an eye on that. But speaking of calling people out, this is the squad everyone has had their eyes on. Top slayers in the game, period. In general, some of the top earners in the game have yet to perform on main stage. Snuck by on 10th, moves Shifty into the rotation, was one of the top slayers during stage 1, 31 total eliminations just by himself. This team, it's a team that may play too aggro sometimes, and maybe that's what's hurt them in the first 2 maps. They're sitting at about 20th place right now.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do. And honestly, I'm very impressed with a lot of the teams being able to navigate this Al Mazras, like everything throughout, even with that play line. But here's a squad on your screen that is trying to break into the top 10, currently sitting in 10th place prior to this, but you want to move up further in, and they've got to take out Team Nate Dogg Beast if they want to make significant moves, because that's the 3rd place team.
Yeah, and this is a big fun talking point too. Is like Nate Dogg Beast is another one of those teams like Omen that a lot of people probably don't know. They're saying, who are these people? Like, coming up through qualifiers, like earning their way into these top spots. Like, just because you haven't heard their name doesn't mean they're not demons on the map. So keep an eye out for some of those qualifier teams and continue to shout them out. Oak Boy goes down, JC goes down. Unfortunately, every time we've swapped to Almighty TJ squad, it looks like they've been in a blender.
All right, let's check in. Hollywood, Vanucci, Ray Skis, Sebas, Mr. Daft, and J-Device on the other side. You can see J-Device rotating back to the anchoring position, probably trying to get on top of another building to get a good angle. Loadouts have been picked up, but this is why Bomb Squad is so important with all of the lethals, all of the drill charges coming their way, rotating out, trying to prioritize a little bit of a reset. Might not be bad. Ray Skis out on his own. Big 1v1 there. Vanucci there. Able to meet back up, but an RPG.
Sure.
Don't do it to him. Don't actually do it. I'd love it.
I mean, a couple people were rocking the RPG yesterday, but it wasn't like a mainstay. I don't think this is necessarily a mainstay for Vanucci, but I'd love to see a Nog with it just to add some salt to the timeline. Everybody was saying these are overpowered or what have you. It's an RPG. I mean, what do you expect? Vanucci pushing the equation on Sebas, playing by himself. Sebas, no chance. Look, this squad with Sebas' team, I think they're playing in person, like I had mentioned, at the Optic place. And Tiff, you know, that squad qualified, and they did fantastic in stage 1, pretty much entirely on the back of Mr. Daft. Running that KV broadside, he held down the fortress and walked away with a ton of kills.
That was pretty wild to see, and let me just think that everything that we are not seeing a tournament with just a massive amount of KV broadsides. It's mostly just been prioritizing the Cronin, whether you want to run the ISO 45 or the MP5, that's pure choice on your play style. And, you know, a couple Signal 50s dabbled in.
Well, Picnic, Nick Cool, Shadow Wag. I love the changing of names constantly with shadow bans occasionally, but that squad is on the revenge tour, Tiff, and they have yet to really. I don't think they're out of the bus yet. I mean, we got to get a move on. Let's hop out of the bus. Let's start the tour. Start singing. Start playing an instrument or something, because it's time to make some waves, and you haven't made them yet. Squad at the top. Squad 1 rated. Adrian, Aydan. They'd love to replicate some of their slaying success early, but this weird circle might be hindering their advances in the early part of this map.
Team 10X and Team Valid Hands, which is now Team Sir Taylor, are located behind them as well. DBZ finding some massive moves there in the kill feed, but as well as Joewo and co. Limax last trying to clean up. Joewo and Brevin now find themselves in the gulag at Index. They are making a move, and just like that, you've gotta watch the flank. You've gotta watch the windows. How many times have we seen this happen over the course of the 6 maps yesterday and the prior 2 that we've witnessed today? You just get leveled.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're like sneaking around on the 2nd floor. You got 2 people pushing you from down below. You're like, okay, I think I can win this. I can hold the sight line. All of a sudden, your shoulder clips a window. See you later. Adios. Believe. Nice flank there. That squad doing well today. And again, it's a squad that really has something to prove. They've been inside like the top 15 for a ton of Warzone tournaments, but never really found their groove into the medals, if you will, top 3. I would love to see them earn some money today and see them in London performing on LAN. Some of them have LAN experience, so likely can replicate some of that success on LAN. Squad down below, eBait's playing huge anchor from distance. Team 11, one that our desk loves to shout out because they have some fantastic strategies. They just got to match it with the gunny. We know they have.
Hey, hey, those are fighting words.
What?
Came back with a we know they have it. It's true. They do. I mean, you think about where they're at right now. 7 eliminations for Evade, 7 for Z-Smith. I can't even say it. Z-Smith, my God. DJ Moss, 5 eliminations. And they're on your screen right now trying to solidify furthermore in that top 10, like I said earlier, sitting in that 10th spot, which is so far a ticket to land. But you've got to get through Shifty, and that is not someone you want holding you out, especially now coupled with Biffle and Sage. Smokes for cover. DJ Moss, we're looking at you. You're hydrated. You're teed up. You're ready.
Yeah, this is a very tough fight to take. However, this is when I want to fight Sage, Shifty, and Biffle. When they're frustrated, when they're not doing the things they want to be doing, when they're not playing fantastic, they're top 20. This is when I want to fight them because that's when their comms can get a bit crazy. However, they've answered back. They've lost DJ. Z-Smith says, let's think better of this and maybe take this fight from a different angle, or maybe not take this fight at all. Oh, goodness gracious.
Hit the water. Joewo, pistol in hand. Jerky down and out. Linez cracked, looking for another one.
This is foul.
Joewo looking like a shark out there.
This is foul. Oh no. Joewo, Brevin, Limax swimming around. We called him Florida man earlier. I feel like Joe might be a Florida man in his heart. Hunting down lanes and Val. Yeah, this is tough to watch. This is what you always have to have: a water loadout. You have to have a pistol loadout that you can shoot underwater so you can grab a couple eliminations, especially when you're in circumstances like this. We'll check back on them later. Let's swing over to some more of the action. Biffle, Sage, Shifty, pretty solid, rotating in, seemingly unhindered because Nate Dogg's worried about E-baits.
I'm worried about E-baits. Aren't we all worried about E-baits? You never know what they're going to do, and that makes things a little scary. Fades on your screen, looking for a good angle, but Nate Dogg on the roof, able to grab a good chunk of damage onto E-baits, coupling down with some lethals. Not going to do it, though. Man, what are you going to do, Nate Dogg? We're going to push the issue? Are we pushing? Oh, yeah. Gosh, we're going in.
Well, at least taking the high ground. I think he may have saw E-baits back up, so he's going to push forward and take the next available high ground to have a better position to take shots at. I assume the comms between these three are really clean. They look like they're playing really strong today, and they're kind of affording Nate Dogg that opportunity to push up while the other two hang back. They're kind of playing the reverse anchor, just trying to get a pick as they know the other team is running away. Speaking of running away, TBE getting caught from behind, getting sandwiched. You got Sabas on one side with Jadevise taking these long angles. TBE was going to hunt them down and probably exterminate them, but from behind, a sizable team, a formidable team, Brolic, Desmond, Nico also having something to prove after a lackluster stage one playing with Frozen. And they brought Brolic in after Brolic was originally playing with Mutex, made a couple roster changes, and I was talking to them beforehand, Tiff. They said the chemistry was flowing. They didn't have any trash talk. They wanted to stay humble, but they felt good. And hopefully they'll feel good in the second half of the tourney.
Feel good, play good. That's how you got to have it going. We did see some members of Team Hisuka going down a little bit early on, trying to keep tabs on them. Omen, your map 2 winners, finding some success in the Elim feed as well. Want to keep that momentum up. They said they were underdogs and they're here to prove their worth. And that's one thing we love about the World Series of Warzone. You at home, the fans watching, supporting these players as they look to stamp their passports, get that ticket to the global finals in London. You might find someone that you're like, hey, they're cracked. I want to support them. And that is the coolest part of that. Speaking of cracked, Aydan,
Yeah.
able to decimate Russ.
Have you heard of Aydan? Anybody ever heard of Aydan before? He's pretty cracked. Yeah, pushing the fight there.
No, fries out, gets peppered. Movement on lock. I don't know. Looked like the Matrix there for a hot second, dodging those bullets.
Yeah, you better conserve some of those resources. Don't want to burn any of your extra 16 plates that you have in your bag currently. But Adrian and Adrian kind of playing by the seat of their pants at this point. All strategy, or at least the original strategy, goes out the window when you have a circle and a plane line like this. But seemingly adapting well. Colony track a little bit in trouble here. Getting a push from Juju. Juju was the top slayer from stage 1. Might I remind you all at home, 37 total eliminations. Hasn't done too much on main stage yet, but keep an eye out for that team. They definitely have the slaying power to do well today. They just need to execute like they did in stage 1.
Team Joewo still in the water out there towards the right. Very far, kind of removed from Colony. Peppered now gets that information. Great use of the tactical, but you almost blow yourself up in the meantime. But you are going to go fall down. Completely eliminated there by Dongy.
Yeah, that's what happens when you root yourself out of the one room you could try to hold down, unfortunately. So squad 30, again, a last minute substitution. ST coming in for Valid Hands. Nice little gunfight there. And now they're gonna have to walk through our 8th place team. Intex on the other building. And a couple other squads around. You can get shot from 1,000 different angles currently. You can also shoot from several angles, so hopefully you can grab some free picks. All of those kills will add up. Every kill matters, and we'll find Intex. Question is, can you clean it up?
All right, this was that Team Valid Hands. Last minute sub coming in from the hands of Sir Taylor, hitting the mobile buy station, bringing in possibly a UAV blast and believe. Left standing from squad 23 as we just witnessed Intex go down, and the death ball in form of Vincent, Sir Taylor, and Collect are moving in, trying to close the distance. But check out the triangle formation that is of nature to TBE. Oh, looking through the windows, trying to find a shoulder to tap.
Couple teams here for Otter, Prospect, Jace, maybe Devise on the other side. We've got another fight. We've pushed on their 8th place team. ST not scared of anybody. I don't care if they're top 10. I don't care if they've been playing Call of Duty for 10 years. We're pushing the fight and we're winning the fight. Rooted out all of them aside from one. And it looks like the last player is fighting back a little bit. Team 23, that's Believe last alive for that squad. They need to carry the momentum. They need to keep the wind in their sails. And right now, the storm is brewing for that ship to get capsized. As TBE's on 8. Wait, Tommy by himself is on 8. Tiff, 38 teams left. We're still in the 3rd circle. Tommy's on 8. Almond's on 2. We've already got our double digits. The middle game is TBE's. They own it. They control it. This is theirs.
This is what they needed to do, right? They had a 20 elimination game in map number 1, tying the best game that we witnessed in the EU Stage 2 finals yesterday. Can it be improved on? This is exactly what we're about to witness, but we're looking also for the rise of Team Hisoka. They started off outside the top 30 in map number 1 with just 2 points and have already thrust themselves inside the top 15, and they need to carry the momentum here. And it's going to start with the mid game in Marshlands, just inside the zone, but you have squad number 27. Team Shero, your second place team coming in from the qualifiers, are at the hands. It's pretty much of a stalemate. You can see Soka and Co backing off. They don't have Skullface in the game. May need to retrieve him, but check out the ultimate high ground.
I was gonna say, anybody wanting some high ground? Lovey's got a ton of it. Find some picks, smokes, trying to afford whatever bit of visible cover you can try to grab, and not enough. Lovey will find one, knock the second, clean it up likely here, no problem. Team 38. We'll see you later in the lobby. I believe that is Omen. That was your map 2 winners. They might be able to sneak to Gulag here if they can't get the self-revive off. They haven't been there yet. Lovey is using a ton of... We're jumping off the high to make sure we get that kill. Okay, I respect it. Let's just go ahead and clean this up. Make sure Omen can't get out of this one. Are we gonna shoot through the wall?
Do it. Do it to Omen. A little bit of dance. The shield crack comes in, and just like that, Lovey cleans up your map 2 winners team, Omen. They're gonna have to double down and go hard in map number 4, but for now, map number 3, 36 squad still up, nearing that mark. It's kind of keeping the same trajectory here, 35 to 30 within that 18-minute map mark. 89 players up, and almighty TJ ready to do some damage.
They need to do some damage. This team has been in a blender all day today, at least on main stage. Almighty's trying to snipe the Signal 50. Not a bad play. I've seen it work for some. Destroy grabbing a couple off screen. DBC still trying to fire back and increase their odds. This is going to be a stalemate for a while in this location. The outside of the bridge, several teams in the area, but not a lot of fighting is going to happen for a while unless Almighty can get a pick from distance. And with the Signal, you're going to have to get pretty lucky to hit at least 2, if not 3 shots. And Breadman might shoot back. Bread likely sniping.
50 in his hand too. You think about it, we were both checking in with his stream earlier today, and he was talking a lot about the utilization of the Signal 50, and if we would see them, and it would be really hard to see Breadman go down to the Signal 50. No, not Breadman going down at the hands of a Signal 50.
Well, here's the thing. When you got 3 people staring down the barrel of their guns at you and you can't really shoot back and there's no one else to even third party and try to give you some covering fire, I think that might have been a sacrificial lamb. That was a bad rotation already for Joewo squad, that they kind of just left Breadman out to try and said, good luck, brother. Hold off the fight while we run to cover. And it worked. They lost one, but it looks like Joewo was able to get into the next circle. TBE back on main stage, Tiff. Edge of zone yet again. Edge of the map, rather. Decent position, at least 11 between Almond and Tommy, and they're going to try to fight Lovey here, who dropped off ultimate high, now trying to play zone. And as they're trying to play zone, it looks like somebody got here first, and it might be your tournament leader.
Mortar strike coming in, Skullface out in the distance. The issue is I only see one of them. The other 2 probably rotating out of Marshlands. They haven't reunited yet, but Team Reader is going to rotate straight towards Skullface. And you mentioned it, you called it the third party. It's technically a fourth party, but ain't no party like a fourth party when Aydan, Rated, and Adrian are going to show up. But check on out over here. Another fight with at least 6 teams.
I do not want to be at that party. A fourth party and Aiden's the fourth party. I'm out. I'm not going. It's not a good party. Devera, a kind of Warzone staple, been around the scene for a very long time, dabbled in and out of competitive, came through the qualifiers and said, yeah, let's make a run for it. And they're actually doing pretty decent today. Would love to see some continued success for them in this map. About halfway through this tournament, or almost to it. Found an angle, found traverse. That gives them an opportunity. Not quite free rotation, as Vombot from the distance has an angle, especially when there's a precision airstrike on your head. Devera thought they had a good opportunity for a push, and it gets swung back against them. That is so unfortunate. Last line there, Ripper and Sin just kind of creeping along. Doesn't look like they may have a self-res. Ripper gonna have to win the 1v1. Tiff, he's in trouble.
He is definitely in trouble. A little bit of a smoke and cover, plating up on the move. Need to rotate towards that zone, but when you have Team Vonbot on the other side kind of gatekeeping, it's going to be a really tough push. Meanwhile, Almond becoming one with the shrubbery. Moving forward, talk about the positioning that they have and the ability to take in the zones. This is similar to how we saw them position themselves in map number 1 for that victory, right? That early game towards the end of all the massive rotations, they set themselves up with trees, good lines of sights with rocks for cover. You can see Sitrep as well down on the low ground in the bush. We talk about be the shrubbery, and Sitrep and Zlaner, that's exactly what they're going to do. But Zlaner doesn't have any eliminations, does Sitrep, does Twitty, because you doesn't matter if you win 2x times 0 is still 0. That's how math works.
Yeah, I'll let the devs break down why TBE's rotation there was so perfect, but they kind of like swung through the middle. They didn't have to put it all on red or black, like Dandro said. They pulled the perfect in between. If it pulled to the edge of the map, they're in position. If it pulls inland, they've got that giant rock structure to work with and take high ground and look over their opponents. Perfect wrap. We'll see if it pays off for them. 22 teams left. Shifty, Biffle, Sage. They must get something going now. A nice trade from Biffle, but there's players on the outside of the wall, and I'm not sure they know it. Keep him alive. Biff is able to keep at least Sage on the ground. Invader's trying to swing in and play spoiler. And I'm not sure whether or not it went their direction. Grab 2. Unless Invader can do something huge there. I think Shifty is going to still be in this one. TBE is still holding edge of zone. They've pushed 1 forward to play center and hold down this position. And guess who it is? Top Slayer Tommy finding his 9th, by the way, by himself with 18. Make it 17 teams left. High ground position, overlooking the bridge, overlooking everything. This is brutal for every other team.
This is once again another masterclass from TBE, and at this point, Tommy and Almond are just playing a game of hide and seek where they're the seekers. They have full control of this because who is going to be able to challenge them on that high ground? You can still see Sitrep and Zlaner just down below in the trees. Foreign Jace from squad number 8, last alive, hiding as well. We do have 2 members up on Team Hisoka and Aydan. This is going to be challenging. You have to be able to play your left, but avoid everyone in front of you because you are not hiding in plain sight here. Someone immediately will suss you out.
Yeah, this thing about Aydan is kind of like who's Tommy gonna look at next kind of thing. And all of a sudden, there's Silka on the right-hand side gonna take down Aydan. Adios, we'll see you later, and we'll see where we can go from here. Tommy in the best position, but who can get second, who can get third? Hey, we're already down to 6 total teams. That was brutal there at the end. Donkey Nofo still in it as well, repping our Stage 1 qualifier teams. Got up to 9th in Stage 1 finals, continuing to improve on their performances. They're trying to make land, and Tommy's into double digits.
I mean, this is their game to lose, in a sense. If they play this to perfection, they should be able to outlast, outplay, and take down their map 1 score. This should be more, and you can see Tommy, he knows, he's checking the low ground, they're shooting back, and all that matters as long as he can keep up with enough ammo. But he gets decimated, he gets fooled. It's all on the backs of Almond now.
Yeah, that's what the one thing I was gonna say right as I passed you is like, if Tommy gets too aggro here and shows too much of a shoulder, there is an angle from Donkey and Nofo and whoever was fighting over there. It does look like Donkey and Nofo won against Skullface, wiped the squad. We're down to 4 final teams. We've got Sitrep, we've got Jace, we've got Donkey Nofo, and we have Almond, the final 5. This is going to be a fun one. I think Almond can win this as a solo, but it depends on the zone pull. And with the one that's shown, Donkey and Nofo can have a tough rotation. Yeah,
but here's the deal. Almond does have 2 smokes available. He has 4 eliminations, plenty of ammo in the ground. He's running the 50-round mag. Now, once Sitrep and Zlaner move out. Oh, but unfortunately, Donkey and Nofo rotate early. Take to the high ground. It's going to be a 2v2 here shortly for the
Donkey's win. On 10. Donkey matches Tommy 10 for 10 and says, thank you very much. How about I win as well? 2 up on high ground. Sitrep and Foreign Jace laying low. There's nowhere else to hide, gentlemen. I guess you could wait for the next zone and wait it out in the gas and see if you're gonna get a zone pull, and they might jump over you. But this is a game of chicken. Sitrep goes first. Pushes for Jace, misses the wrong push. Jace pushes out with just a pistol. Sitrep finds him, but they're getting shot from above. Signal flare above. Hey, takes second place, and that's all she wrote. Donkey finds his 11th. Donkey goes up big in map number 3. Donkey and Nofo, that's gotta be at least like a 36-point game.
That was massive. That was everything that they needed to do. And just before you said it, you passed it to me. I'm like, this is Tommy and Almond's game to lose. They were trying to pick up as many eliminations, but granted, they still did make that top 5, that 1.8x multiplier where eliminations will go hard. But Donkey and Nofo, that rotation at the end, insane. Let's run that victory moment back because I want to see the celebration.
Watch the right. Behind me.
The one could be up here playing alone. It could be playing gas.
Hold on me right here. I'm with you. I'm stroking you, bro. I'm looking under. Watch our fucking left. Watch our flank. Yeah. Lower, they're fighting. They're fighting.
Moving here.
One
Last
left.
kid.
Yes, sir. Got a pistol left.
Kill him. Last one, baby.
I'm the fucking greatest. Get the fuck off me. You're the greatest in the fucking game. Get the fuck off of me.
Hey, look, claim it, own it. You won map 3. Very well done. Not quite as many points as I thought. Still a 30-point game tip. They were already in the running inside the top 15. This is certainly going to push them higher. Very well done at the end.